All right, so this first exercise here is going to be focusing on pronation, specifically through your first knuckle right here at the very top of your hand, and kind of using back pressure and rising as secondary movements. Typically, I will superset this, so I'll kind of show you the first variant of the exercise, and then when I burn out on that, I will go and flip right into a rising specific motion. So again, what we really want to do is target pronation through the top of the hand here, not necessarily through the wrist, but through the hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our towel, we're just going to wrap it around the dumbbell. It will catch the hex of the dumbbell, don't worry, it won't slip or anything like that. You'll see as you go through the exercise that it really doesn't move at all. So we just wrap the towel. What we're going to do is we're going to take it, you can twist it a little bit just so it's a little bit easier to get a hold on to, and then you're going to set the towel basically right in between your thumb and your pointer finger. Once you get it set, we're going to basically be doing half curls. So putting the elbow, you can either do it standing up, free form, or what I prefer to do just so I can isolate it a little bit more is getting my elbow on the inside of my thigh. So once you have it set, your grip is set, what you're going to do is you're just going to hold it kind of at the bottom, a little bit more open than say a 60-degree angle, and then you're going to curl up. As you're curling up, you're pronating through that top knuckle. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but pronating through that top knuckle on every single rep. And as you're doing it, you're also rising and kicking up with your wrist. So you're going to start with a pretty neutral wrist. As you come up, pronating and rising at the same time. We'll do it a little bit left arm here so you can kind of see the other angle. So we're here, and then really throwing your knuckle towards your own face and just working on pronation. This isn't really an exercise that I ever max out on. It is purely for just kind of getting in volume, recovery, and just working on muscular endurance. So I'll sit here, bang out however many of these you can. You can go up in weight however high you're comfortable with. Typically when I get to a point where my pronation is burnt out, and I will switch to the towel position away from being across that front knuckle, and I'll go across. So I'll basically, the towel on the first variation is applying pressure right through here, forcing you to pronate through your hand. Then we're going to flip the towel so it's all right on this very front knuckle. That way it's only rising. So again, we're here, we're just busting out reps till we basically can't anymore. Then we're going to take the towel, we're going to come over a little bit, so we're going fist like that right over your front knuckle, and then we're going to be doing again kind of half curls and really kicking the wrist high at the end of every single rep and holding it for just a second. So that's exercise number 1. All right, so the first exercise we covered there kind of hits standard top rolling. So again, it's working on back pressure, pronation, active squeezing through the hand to hold onto the towel the whole time, that way it doesn't slip out. So that's kind of all your standard top rolling motion. Now we're going to kind of go over some more hooking and supination. So again, just using the towel, it's nice and easy. What we're going to do is we're going to flip the grip. So instead of having the towel through our hand like that, we're going to flip our hand the opposite way, and you're basically just going to do standard curls while supinating at the top. So as we come up, going to be really supinating and kind of throwing our pinky up towards our face. So that's kind of variation number 1. Another thing, I personally get a lot of back pressure and bicep activation out of that, but don't necessarily get a ton of supination. So the way I like to train for hooking specifically, and specifically for finishing power, so you're really deep in a hook and you're kind of close to the pin pad and you just need to get that last little bump to finish, is a lot of down pressure and really chopping with the wrist. And the way I do that is pretty much just with heavy statics, a little bit of bouncing with the motion. But you'll see here, basically what I do is I'll just get a towel, I'll get a dumbbell. I'll typically go a lot heavier on this, like 60 pounds or so, and you're really just trying to hold it for as long as possible. So what we're going to do is you're going to take it neutral grip like this, and we're going to let the weight just hang straight down by our side. And as you're doing it, you're going to kick your pinky back. I'll slide up here a little bit. You're going to kick your pinky back as far as you possibly can. So your wrist is cranked down all the way, and you're gonna hold that for as long as possible. If you want, you can do some negatives and then bring it back up. But again, that is just to work on supination and really that chopping motion to finish out a hook. All right, so we've covered, again, just simple towel movements with the dumbbell for top rolling as well as hooking, just building some foundational strength. Another thing I really like to do is for elbow rehab and for pressing. I personally never press ever. It is not a good move for me on the table, but I do a lot of elbow rehab, especially after heavy practices and stuff like that. A lot of people swear by JM presses. I like them. They're okay, but they're not the best for me. Typically what feels best is another variation of the towel and dumbbell that I'm going to show you real quick. So kind of like the first exercise where you have the towel going over your hand, you're basically going to hold that, and what we're going to do is a skull crusher just with a dumbbell on a towel. Other than that, as you're doing the kind of that skull crusher motion, having the dumbbell on the towel makes it so the weight bounces around a little bit, so you have to stabilize it. Also, because the towel and weight is going to be hanging right above your shoulder, you can't come straight down in a perfect straight line like you typically do with a skull crusher or any variation of like a close grip bench. So what happens is you're kind of forced to bring it on the outside of your body, and as you're getting that tension through your elbow, it's actually forcing you to use a little bit of side pressure. It's not straight to the side like how most people train with a pulley system, but it's just a little bit of pressure on the outside to kind of help with that rehab and also build up a little bit of side pressure and elbow integrity as you go along. So I'll just show with my right arm here real quick so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Here. Nice thing with this is the more you want it to work that side pressure, kind of that odd angle, you can basically just move your arm further and further out from your body to the point where, you know, if you're at a 45-degree angle, it more replicates a JM press, but you can go all the way to being totally outside and having it really stress the inside of your elbow on every rep. All right, and last exercise here. So we've covered top rolling, hooking, pressing, and kind of side pressure, all those fundamental movements. Really the last thing we have to kind of put together with everything is dragging and containment. So personally, I think the best way to train this is either a little bit of lower angle pulley, or you can even go as high as a lat pull down and doing very heavy static holds. So again, with the towel, real simple. What we're gonna do, if I can get the camera. So to work heavy dragging with the towel and just a simple cable attachment, if you don't have a rolling handle like the RGT from Grip Genie, or any other kind of variation of a wrist wrench or rolling thunder or anything like that, one thing you can do is just take a simple towel, fold it up as many times as you want to make it as thick as you need. Again, I don't have a pulley here, so I can't really show it appropriately, but even just a real simple pulley at a commercial gym, you get a towel, wrap it up a few times till it's the desired thickness. That basically provides a nice big cupping motion. You can even go kind of flat finger for more kind of like top roll containment. And the benefit of the towel is, although you're not getting a totally smooth roll like you do with some of the rolling thunders and stuff like that, is that as you are doing really heavy statics, this towel is going to want to roll, and you can put more and more pressure in your fingertips, which is going to cause it to roll out. So because the towel is sliding on the bar, it really forces you to actively grip with your whole hand, working on containment and not letting your opponent slip as you're applying that drag.